Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News this hour. We begin at the National Assembly, where the Senate Minority Caucus has issued a 6-week ultimatum to President Muhammadu Buhari to tackle the security challenges facing the country. The lawmakers have threatened to begin impeachment proceedings against the president if he fails to address insecurity within the period. The minority senators also staged a walkout at today's plenary over failed attempts to impeach the president on state of the nation, particularly on the issue of insecurity. This development comes as one of the recent concerns and threats to security in major parts of the country. We'll be back at the National Assembly, but let's tell you that security has been tightened in Abuja and heavy weaponry deployed to strategic locations. But residents and business operators are yet apprehensive in the wake of growing threats of terror attacks. And Stephen Essien reports.
Residents of Abuja go about their businesses, but with some concerns over security. Reports have continued to make the rounds of plots by terrorists to attack the nation's capital, triggering apprehension. The federal government's directive shutting down the Federal Government College, Kwali, in the wake of the security breaches in Kwali has forced schools to hurriedly shut down for the session. At this school in the Buhari Area Council, parents scramble to pick up their children.
Majority, they are thinking they will not return to the school because the surrounding is no longer safe. Why will I return a daughter back to a school whereby the next moment you start hearing the sound of the machine gun? The security network, well, we are seeing soldiers now manning war weapon everywhere. But that's not all about it.
Further down the road is a Nigerian law school, which according to reports was the target of a plot by terrorists. We were not allowed to film inside the school, but normal activities are ongoing within the premises, except that ceremonies for the call to bar scheduled to hold in the premises have now been shifted elsewhere. Outside the premises of the law school, there are growing concerns over security.
I feel so disappointed. I feel so discouraged even to come back to this place again, because earlier I was here since 1999 up to this point. I've never had or been encountered with such experience that I had yesterday night. So I'm very, very disappointed.
Despite the deployment of heavy weaponry by security forces, residents are anxious. There is an air of apprehension. Residents and indeed business operators say any further breach of security within the area council would have far-reaching consequences. What they want at the moment is for the federal government to take proactive measures to ensure security of lives and property in the entire area council. Stephen Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
And staying in the nation's capital, the House of Representatives has promised to mediate in the face-off between university workers and the federal government. The resolution was the aftermath of a formal presentation of NLC's letter of demands to the Parliament after today's protest to the National Assembly. The Chairman, Committee on Labour, Ali Wudil, presented the letter at plenary. The House resolved to intervene with a view to ending the 170-day-old strike. The NLC has threatened that if the federal government does not meet its demands at the end of the protest, the union will embark on a 3-day warning strike to press home its demands. And let's turn to the court now. The Federal Capital Territory High Court has ordered that former Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, be remanded in Kuje Correctional Facility until hearing of his bail application. Presiding Judge Justice Adeyemi Ajayi made the order after taking arguments for and against the bail application. And counsel to Mr. Idris, Chris Uche, prayed the court to admit the defendant to bail in liberal terms as the alleged offences are bailable. Opposing the bail application, counsel to the EFCC, Rotimi Jacobs, held that the court should look at the gravity of the alleged offences to refuse bail. The matter was adjourned till 28th July for ruling on the bail application. Former AGF and his co-defendants are facing a 14-count charge of stealing and criminal breach of trust to the tune of 109.4 billion naira. And staying with the court, Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom, Justice Ekaiti Obot, has ordered the remand of human rights lawyer INIBEHE EFFIONG for 1 month. Mr. EFFIONG disclosed this development on his social media handle, narrating the incident during his defense of Leo Ekpenyong in the libel suit filed by Governor Udom Emmanuel. Although TVC News does not have more facts about this incident, except as stated by INIBEHE EFFIONG, the lawyer insists he did not do anything wrong but to object the presence of armed policemen in the court premises. He also noted that 2 lawyers in court appealed to the chief judge, but she insisted that he must be jailed.
The court, I haven't said anything to her that is personal. I just made an application that it is not proper to have armed policemen in court. And the next thing the judge said, I'm being rude. That why should I say that? That I should step out of the bar, that I'm going to prison. You know, this is the case filed by Udom Emmanuel against a certain Ekpenyong, a lawyer, over alleged defamation. And if I got into this matter, it is as if I shouldn't have even defended this man. As if I shouldn't have even defended this man. We have a pending application for recusal, asking the chief judge to recuse himself of the matter. That application has not been taken.
And let's turn to Rivers State, where the Independent National Electoral Commission says it is still in possession of more than 300,000 permanent voter cards. The commission lamented the low turnout of people to collect their PVCs during a tour of some registration centers in the state. And senior reporter Uche Okoro reports.
INEC has registered almost 300,000 new voters since the 28th of June 2022. This is in addition to almost 200,000 applications for PVC transfer and replacement. But if you take these figures as a sign of the electorate's enthusiasm to vote, the number of uncollected PVCs might leave you with second thoughts. For INEC's National Commissioner, who is on a working visit to Rivers State, the post-registration response leaves much to be desired.
With regards to the distribution of new PVCs, 54,945 have been received, but only 10,373 have so far been collected, leaving an outstanding balance of 44,572 for transfers and replacements. Of those, 16,949 were received. Only 1,790 have so far been collected. From the old PVCs, we have on record 302,297 cards, but only 33,575 were collected.
Before the resumption of the continuous voter registration last month, more than 250,000 PVCs had not been collected. As the exercise winds up again and another backlog looms, INEC's appeal to the voters may not be enough.
We had planned that as soon as this CVR is concluded, we're going to strategize on how we're going to do the collection, because the collection has been quite poor and quite slow. And we also want to use a lot of publicity, road shows. Even this evening, I had discussed with the team here in Rivers. As soon as this meeting is over, we're going to have our own meeting, management meeting, on how we're going to strategize with regards to collecting of the PVCs.
The electoral umpire insists that the registration will end on the 31st of July 2022 at the end of the 2-week extension period. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.